Hi everyone, and thanks for watching again another SM Scrapper video. Sharon here, and today I'm going to continue with what I left off on my first ever Copic marker tutorial. There were several things that I left out regarding the Copic markers, and there's a lot more information that I need to share, so here we go. One of the things I forgot to mention in my last video is that there is a very important Copic marker that we need to talk about, because its use is different than all the other markers. And that marker is the colorless blender. Mine is a Chow. Looks like this. But you can get them in all, the different sizes. Basically, it's called a Copic blender pen, but it really is not used for blending. It's more of like, let's say, an eraser marker. You use it to take color away, from the images. Basically, like when you make a mistake and you color outside the lines, you use this to push the color back into the line, back into the image. Erase the color outside of the image. That's what this is used for. You can also use it for to add a bunch of tricks, to your image, like texture or, different colors. Like, for example, if you want to do a polka dot image, you can do it by coloring an image, a solid color, and then taking the color away in circles and in dots on the picture, and it'll come out polka dots. So that's one trick that you could use to, change your image a little bit. So basically, this is not a blender, even though it's called a blender. This is an eraser pen, kind of. So think of it as that. Do not use to blend, because what it'll do is it'll move around all your ink in the image and spread it all out, and it might make, your Copics bleed outside the lines, and you don't want that. You will need this pen a lot, so I suggest you get the refill of this because you use it all the time. So that's what I forgot to talk about in the last video regarding the colorless blender pen. This is a must. You must get this. Also, something I didn't talk about was that the muiltiliner pens, I have this one. This is a disposable one, and this is the 0.3 one. They come in a bunch of sizes. They come in 0.03 millimeters, 0.05 millimeters, 0.01 millimeter. 0.1 millimeters, 0.3 millimeters, 0.5 millimeters, 0.8 millimeters. And, as you see, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. This is like the medium of it all. This 0.3 is like the one in the middle. So that's why I got it. Especially because you can do, you can color in small areas, and if you need thicker areas, you just I'm sorry, you just fill them in. This is the size of this tip. Look at it. I hope you could see that right there. That's the 0.3 nib. So they also come in 1.0 millimeters. They also come in a brush, in a small brush size, and a brush in medium brush size. So there's a variety. As I said in the last video, they come in 9 sizes, and they come in different colors, and I'm going to repeat those colors. They're sepia, wine, olive, cobalt, and gray. They won't dissolve toner, so basically they're photocopy safe. Another pen, Copic pen, that I didn't talk about was the AU Spica glitter pens, and I don't own any of those yet, but I plan on getting some soon. And these pens add sparkle and texture to your project. They're like glitter pens, but high-end, that work really, really good with your Copic markers. The glitter that they have, it's achieved by the use of microglass flakes, and they're more reflective than glass beads used in other brands of glitter pens, So they're really, really nice, and also the pigment in them is transparent, so you can use it over other inks. So you can color, for example, I don't know, with another marker, a solid image, and then you take your At You Speak Out glitter pen and you can color right over it because it's got transparent pigment and the glitter will show. These pens have twice the writing length of other glitter pens on the market. They're really, really, really good and they last a long time. They come in 24 colors and one of them is clear, so that's a great one to get, you know, if you want to try them out. They're all non-toxic, acid-free, archival, and they have a non-clogged tip. That's something I hate about glitter pens sometimes. They get clogged up when you're, you know, coloring. These will not clog. And these are all pigment-based markers, so they're great. And let me show you a picture of what they look like right there. They come in like sets. This is set A. That's what they look like. See the separate colors. You can buy them separately too. So that is that. What else did I forget? Because I don't want to go into the color chart or anything else if, you know, if I forgot other things. Oh, I didn't go into the papers that you can use with Copic markers. You cannot use just regular paper to color with your Copics because most papers are very porous and they suck in all the ink, and you don't want that because you want to, you know, save the ink. You don't want to use all your ink in your coloring. So my favorite paper, and the one I recommend, is the Gina K Designs Pure Luxury Cardstock. It's heavyweight and it's 120 pounds, and it comes in different colors, but obviously to color I use the pure white, and you can find them right there. You can buy it right there, GinaKDesigns.com, and that's the phone number if you want to call. But I suggest you go to GinaKDesigns.com. It's a great website and they sell it really inexpensively, and it's really great. It just doesn't you know, suck in the color. It just leaves the color on the surface longer. It does not bleed through, and it's super nice. I really, really love it. Another paper that works really well is the Nina paper, and also the Paper Tray ink in white. That cardstock's really good. But again, I've tried the Nina. You know, I don't love it. It bleeds through. You know, with the Gina K Designs, you have no bleed through at all in the back. And I find that it's easier to blend in the Gina K Designs. So, I mean, that's just my preference, personal preference. What else can I say that I haven't said already regarding all these things? Oh, how do you know when to refill your Copic markers? If your marker no longer has a, you know, like an even flow of ink, you know, when you're coloring, and then, you know, when your coloring starts to look streaky, that's a sign. You can also tell by touching the end of the marker. I'm sorry. You know, you just touch the end of your nib, and you should be able to tell if it's, you know, if it feels dry to the touch, you know, that's bad. And if it's streaky and makes streaky sounds, also is bad. Another way you can tell is, let me show you a color one so you can see. Another way you can tell is the tip will turn white, or, you know, it'll start losing its color. So you see how this one is completely solid? It will start looking a little like this. Not the entire nib, but some of the nib will look white like this. So that's another way of knowing when to refill. And to know how to, you know, to learn how to refill the marker, you can go to the Copic site. They have a library there with a bunch of documents that you can read, and there's one where it shows you how to refill the markers. Also, one thing you should know is not to uncap or shake your markers over your image, because sometimes they might, you know, bleed a little bit. Sometimes small dots of color will come out, and you don't want it, you know, to blotch up your image. So don't do that. Sorry, what else? I'm trying to not forget anything. The Nina paper that you can get is the Nina Classic Crest Solar White. You can also use the Prism Simply Smooth paper. You can use Georgia Pacific White, but all these will bleed. You can use the Basil Smoothies and the Paper Tray Ink Stamper Select. You want to avoid papers that suck in a lot of ink because you don't want to, you know, use all your ink in one image. So you have to stay away from watercolor papers and papers like that that, you know, are made to soak in color. Stay away from those. They're not good for Copic coloring. So that's it. With that, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the color Copic chart, the marker chart. It's basically a chart that you print out, and as you're buying your markers, you fill in the colors. Let me see if I find mine. I did not have a ton of colors. I just bought the ones to start, you know, that I thought would be good. So basically, this is what it looks like as you start filling in what you have. And this is really easy to get. This particular one is an updated marker chart. You can find one in the Copic marker site, but this is an updated one, and you could find it, let's see, right there at paperfections.com. This is where I downloaded this one, and it has all the colors, even the 2010 colors. So, and it also has the glitter pens right here. So if you buy glitter pens, you can also, you know, include them in your chart. When you go places to buy markers, always take your chart with you so you know which ones you have, and which ones you need to get. You know, so you don't buy doubles. So that's a good thing to always have. And I have 11 minutes on this video, so I'm going to stop it here because when speaking of the color wheel, you know, it's a little bit complicated, and I'd rather speak, you know, in a slow motion and not be pressured for time, because in order to make good selection of color, you need to understand how it works and why you pick what and how to pick colors that blend well. So in my next Copic marker tutorial, I'll talk about that, and hopefully I could fit some information on what my first colors were, why I picked those, and in future videos I'm going to talk about you know, color combos for hair, for skin, for, you know, different items like jeans and you know, forests or water, things like that. So keep a lookout for the videos, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. I'm not an expert, but if I know the answer, I'll help you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.